Welcome to Hutton Orbital, home of the Big Aerial, Cubicle 3 and Gusto the Clown.
The corridor outside Studio 6 is unusually crowded tonight. Not because anyone is rushing, the station-wide magboot system has been offline for most of the day. What began as a routine software update has apparently resulted in several thousand commanders discovering just how much of their daily life depends on remaining attached to the floor. Engineers insist a fix is imminent. They've been saying that for 6 hours. As a result, movement around Hutton Orbital has become considerably more three-dimensional. Several pilots have been observed pushing off perfectly sensibly from one end of a corridor, only to spend the next few minutes regretting the chosen trajectory. One cargo handler is believed to have reached the docking bay entirely by accident. Outside Studio 6, people drift gently past in all directions. A technician catches a handrail and spins neatly through the doorway. A maintenance worker floats by upside down, carrying a toolbox and looking completely unbothered by the situation. Inside the studio, the producer has tied themselves to the desk. One microphone is secured with a bungee cord. A stack of notes is clipped down with enough force to survive atmospheric re-entry. The presenters arrive one at a time. One makes a perfect approach, another misses the door entirely and has to come around again. Eventually, everyone is approximately where they need to be. Headsets on, notes secured, microphones captured. Across the desk, a nod. In the corner, the producer hooks an arm around the console and raises a hand. 3, 2, and then...
Our mates are alive! This is Hutton Orbital Live, and we're attempting not to float around the studio.
Hang on, does this mean I can present my bit upside down?
Oh, I can just float near my microphone. This is fun.
Stop being silly, just use the Velcro on the seats.
Oh, heck, I've bumped into Flossy's jumper. I can't get the Velcro undone.
Quick, has anyone got a camera?
Thankfully not. Audio only here. And talking of audio, I suppose really it ought to be time for a couple of headlines. We look into the loo.
I reveal the latest news on the Nomad.
Getting hitched goes off without a hitch.
I've got news from the pitch.
And, says Hutton's election team.
First, this evening, we have yet more news from the piracy affecting the galaxy and rumours of the mysterious Lady Z, or Zai. As regular listeners to our broadcasts will remember, don't forget old news shows are available on all good streaming services, plus GalTube. We've had an investigative team looking into who this person is and whether they actually have an armada, or just a very good team of graffiti artists spray painting passing ships with axes, or animal silhouettes, or even stranger sigils like ornate masks. Our team have been asking the question, has anyone else had a strange encounter in the loo? Loo Mans, or in local dialect, the Man's Loo. Local digital security experts have now confirmed that the Man's Loo has now been compromised by digital pirates who've been treating it as their own personal glory hole full of tasty booty. Not only have they been daubing ships with their messages, monikers, tags, and things like "Phone Lumen 16 for a really good time," and setting fire to things, they've been surreptitiously robbing, raiding and pillaging amongst all the chaos. The digital security teams have been driven round the U-bend in their search for a digital footprint, which, given the state of the man's loo, should be easy to spot, given all the dust and ash from the various attacks. Mike Butowski of Galnet News' Vox Galactica edition has been quoted as saying that whether it's a glory hole or not, Lou Mans could just be the start of local trouble. This appears to have been taken very seriously by security forces across the bubble, as an outbreak of piracy appears to be all but a foregone conclusion. Frontline Solutions, purveyors of dog tick and flea treatment, and mercenary services throughout populated space are said to be all over it like insects on a stray. With news coming later in the show of a new community goal, it appears that they're upgrading their fleet of ships with the new runner and want to ensure that should things break out beyond the loo, commanders can stay hot on the trail of the ne'er-do-wells and their sordid goings-on.
Sticking with the subject of new ships, or should we say vessels, sneak early information has been leaked from the Pilots Federation HQ over at Shinrarta in recent days, hinting strongly at the release of not only a new pilotable vessel, but an entirely new kind of ship. For months, we've been speculating about what the next new release would be from the various shipyards, and Hutton commentators, that's us, have postulated that what would be nice would be some kind of new SRV, or maybe a ship-launched utility craft of some kind. As it turns out, all our insert midwinter festival of your choice here's have come at once. Sneak pictures have shown us a new ship-launched planetary exploration vehicle that flies. Launched like an SLF, but unlike existing ones, equipped with landing skids and twiddly little engines that allow it to touch down on planet surfaces, the new Nomad is exactly the kind of hybrid ship that all budding explorers have been crying out for. With some of the best and most luxurious or long-range exploration ships quite simply too large to land on the lumpy, bumpy, rocky and mountainous regions where some of the most interesting exobiological entities have made their plant-like home, a small craft like this is perfect for hopping around on a planet's surface while the mothership is keeping watch high above. It doesn't appear that the Nomad can land and drive around, though just in case it lands on an icy moon, it has gone the full jet ski doobie banooby, and is equipped with, instead of a landing gear or wheels, skids, allowing it to balance precariously on large rocks in small, hard-to-reach areas. The engines appear to be on a pivot, perfect for hovering while working out whether that's your own shadow, a slightly darker patch of ground, or the elusive exobiological bacteria sample that you've always wanted to accidentally stand in. No news yet about any special internal equipment the ship might be fitted with, though we're expecting some form of special exobiological scanning equipment, the usual night vision, and maybe even a soda stream. And everyone's to read between the lines and add 2 and 2 together and come up with pi, we've noticed the final wording in the article. There's more to this ship than meets the eye. Which, as we're all getting on in years and remember the 80s, it is definitely a transformer. So, spaceship changes into a great big walking robot with cool theme tune and a funky transformation noise. Well, that would make Lady's Eye a Decepticon.
As reported on last week's show, some happy news from Hutton HQ. Commander Snoz, until recently kept company by Alvin, well, in servitude to be honest, now has a wing person, a co-pilot, someone with whom to share his cockpit who doesn't walk around on 4 legs close to the floor and steal sausages. Yes, he got married at an elaborate ceremony over on Sol 3, and Alvin now has 2 minions to do his every bidding. In typical Snoz style, he requires the help of a group of Hutton truckers in getting to the ceremony on time, making sure he has appropriately attired, remembering any important jewellery he was supposed to be attaching to his intended, broadcasting it all to the world. Well, he couldn't exactly ask Live Radio to do it. Helping his chosen venue with excess stocks. I'm delighted to say that both he and his bride looked spectacular on the day. Well, she looked spectacular. He scrubbed up okay. Our very own Vantion delivered a best man speech and managed to make the audience laugh, then cry, then groan, then shout, "Full of mug!" Then neck their drinks, all without managing to get stabbed by the bride and revealing Snoz's darkest secrets. Commander Deadmeat GF was allowed off the naughty step for the day, though he was given an escort by Canine Close Protection Officer Tigger, who kept him on a very short leash. Commander Rampage was on security detail for Vantion and on hand to remind him which end of the network cable was which. We didn't tell him they were bi-directional. And legendary combat pilot Snuffler was put to good use shooting the tags out of Snoz's brand new clothing after someone had hidden the scissors behind the bride in case she got all stabby with Vantion. So, from all your friends here at Hutton, congratulations to the happy couple. Thanks to local landlord George for the marvellous food and putting up with late night truckers going the full throttle. And good luck, Vantion, as we understand. Please don't shoot me, Snuffler has been re-released in honour of what's about to happen when he sees that picture of Mrs. Snuffler he posted on Galbook after the wedding.
Zero G football now, where Bubble Division 1 side Harmer Athletic Nomads has been removed from the playoffs after league officials confirmed that they had attempted to enter next season's Premier Division without authorisation, confidence, or, apparently, the required paperwork. The Nomads were also found to have conducted surveillance on their semi-final opponents, Ross 671 Rovers, during the 72 hours before their critical match. Officials say a coaching pod, 3 tactical drones, and a one-man in a tracksuit pretending to service an air vent were discovered inside the Rovers training cylinder. Nomad's manager, Varko the Clipboard Drazen, originally from Archon Delane's sphere of influence, has refused to apologise. Drazen said,
"In Harmer, piratical tactical actions are wholly encouraged. If an opponent leaves their formation board visible through a reinforced pressure window, that is not spying. That is scouting with ambition."
He added,
"Football is a results business. Sometimes the result is that you know where their left wing back keeps his towel."
The league disagreed, issuing a 96-page judgment described by one pundit as a proper statement of intent, but perhaps needing another striker. The Nomads have been expelled from the playoffs, fined 180 million credits, and banned from registering for Premier Division 0 G football until they can prove that their scouting department is not mostly held to the wall with suction cups. The financial consequences may pass 1 billion credits once broadcast shares, sponsorship clauses, shirt sales, noodle partnerships and speculative commemorative hover scarves are included. Ross 671 Rovers, who lost to the Nomads in the semi-final before being reinstated, then lost the final to Capital Imperial, and have submitted a formal complaint. A club spokesperson said,
"We were denied a fair semi-final, then allowed to play a fair final, which we lost fairly. That is not the sort of fairness we were looking for."
Rovers manager Len Big Numbers Rhotic said his side
Gave 110%, left everything in the changing cylinder and just needed a bit more quality in the final third, the middle third, and the bit where the ball was.
Former players have also questioned the league's handling of the matter. Ex-Nomad striker Bazza Quent, now a studio analyst after a short but noisy career in asteroid insurance, said, "At this level, it's fine margins. 1 minute you're going up, the next minute your manager's assistant is being removed from an opponent's tactical briefing inside a laundry hamper. That's football." The Nomad squad are understood to be reviewing their futures. Several players have expected promotion bonuses, appearance multipliers, executive docking rights, and a luxury boot contract with Gutamaya Shintech Leisurewear. One senior player, speaking through his agent, said,
Lads, they're disappointed. They wanted to test themselves at the highest level, preferably while being paid at the highest level, and with a signing on fee big enough to make their accountants need to sit down on a small bourbon.
Imperial clubs are already monitoring the situation. Capital Imperial, Cubeo Crown, and Sintani Velvet Albion have all been linked with Nomad's players, especially those able to track a floating football, smile at sponsors, and avoid answering questions about tactical drones. Drazen remains defiant.
"People say we crossed a line,"
he said.
"In zero gravity, lines are a lie. There is only space, opportunity, and occasionally a ventilation shaft."
League officials are expected to meet again next week to decide whether Harmer Athletic Nomads should also be stripped of their semi-final win, their academy licence, and their official motto, "We saw nothing unless it helped." For now, Ross 671 Rovers remain angry, Capital Imperial remain promoted, and the Nomads remain in Division 1 with no Premier Division place, no playoff trophy, and a manager who still believes the boys did exactly what he asked of them. As one pundit put it,
"You can't coach that sort of commitment, although in this case, apparently you can."
Election news now, and Hutton officials have confirmed that the cooperative is facing a pending electoral contest in the system of Guy against Guy of the Green Party of Guy. The ballot has already been described by local returning officers as
"You're having a laugh, right?"
the Green Party of Guy, led by Guy, has released and revised robust and repetitively reform requests calling for reasonable representation, recyclable rationing, responsible refinery regulation, and really rigorous routes for returning rare resources. Hutton campaign staff have responded by asking whether the Green Party of Guy has considered moving to a system with fewer guys in it. Guy, speaking from Guy's principal port, which should be called Guy's Ring but isn't, said,
"The Green Party of Guy represents Guy residents, Guy refiners, Guy rural rig operators, and Guy's right to regular, reliable, responsibly routed resources."
A Hutton spokesperson then said,
Right.
"The campaign has already caused problems for local broadcasters. One reporter was hospitalised after attempting to say,
Guy's Green Party rally rerouted rare recyclable refinery residues round Guy Ring."
without medical professionals present. Election leaflets have also raised concerns. One Hutton pamphlet was withdrawn after a printer produced the slogan, "Robust rivals require rapid rebuttal regarding recycled rock rights." The replacement slogan, "Hutton, rarely reckless, regularly right." It was approved immediately and then misread by 3 residents, 1 customs officer and a man repairing a radiator. Guy has accused Hutton of running a rough, rowdy and reputationally ruinous campaign. Hutton representatives rejected the claim, stating that the campaign had been restrained, respectful, reasonably rectangular, and only rowdy near the refreshments rig. The Green Party of Guy has promised a raft of local reforms, including reduced reactor residue, regulated rum rations, rural recycling rings, and the removal of red warning ribbons from restricted refinery rails. Hutton's local office has countered with its own pledges, including regular deliveries, reliable logistics, repaired ramps, realistic requisition records, and a review of why every room in Guy has a radiator but no clear reason for it. Commander Mike Oxlong, Hutton's temporary regional returning rhetoric reviewer, said,
Well, Guy from the Green Party of Guy and Guy has got a good ground game, but Hutton has real reach, real roots, and really resilient rare runners. The race remains remarkably rum.
Guy dismissed that assessment, saying,
Hutton's rhetoric is reduced to recycled rubbish.
Hutton then replied,
Well, Guy's Green Guy guidance gives Guy grief.
The debate is scheduled for later this week, though organisers have asked both sides to avoid using words rural, rare, regular, ring, rival, route, rector, refinery, reform, really right, robust, and Riedquat. The moderator resigned 7 minutes later. Polling opened shortly. The result in Guy may not reshape galactic politics, but it could determine whether Guy gets Guy governed by Guy, or whether Hutton returns to Guy with regular routes, rare resources, and ring rejections of regrettable recycling rhetoric.
Well done.
Well done. Well done,
I feel I
everybody.
did
on
well
that.
at that. I deliberately took that one really slow.
Yes. Well, there's a reason for that article, which will become apparent later on in the show. Aside from the fact, excuse me, that we're I tongue twisted my throat into having the coughs. Anyway, there's a reason for that one. It's a very, very big setup for a very small joke. That's all I can say. Oh, dearie me. So, was there any news from Frontier this week?
No, wait.
Nah.
No,
wait.
Wait. Yes.
I think the correct answer to that is no, Mad.
No,
Mad.
Ooh.
No, Mad.
No, mad. Yes. Okay, so we got a surprise one.
Mad.
One we weren't expecting.
Nobody was expecting a floater.
Yeah, it's a new SRV, a ship-launched recon vehicle. No, sorry, wait, an SLF, a surface relaunched floater.
A non-drivable, surface-landable, ship-launched fighter. How about that?
No, it is drivable, isn't it?
It's drivable.
Palatable?
It's flyable.
It looks very fancy.
Oh, it's not drivable. Yeah, it's flyable, correct.
I
It does
see.
look kind of cool.
It's a skimmer for people.
It's
I
a
like
skimmer
people
for
skimmer.
people. Yeah, people skimmers. Yes.
I'd prefer to skim over the planet than the people.
Okay. Well, does anybody?
The cockpit has got Type 9 vibes.
I
see,
I
I
thought
thought
this
the
the
ship-
other day.
Given the scale, I think it's more of a Type 0.9.
Yeah.
A Type
I thought the
0.9. Oh dear.
Looking at the shape of that, especially where the nacelles are, that was saying Panther Clipper 2 to me, in shape.
A baby clipper.
Yeah, the front looks more Lakon, but obviously the Panther Clipper 2 is Zorg Peterson, and the view of it being shown fired from a Caspian Explorer, of course, that's also Zorg Peterson. So I don't think we actually know who makes them yet.
I was going to ask that question. I don't think we do.
It has remained anonymous.
Yes. So, does anybody have access to the actual release information for this one? What they said about it, not what we said about what they said about it.
Wait, there's a difference?
Yes,
I
ours
can
is totally
find it if you
accurate.
do.
So was that a really, really long way of saying, does anyone have the article open?
That was a really long way of
Yes.
saying, because that was giving people time to,
Panic and open it, yeah, which I
Yes.
should have done earlier. Yeah, I've also
Yeah,
forgot what it's called.
Well, there's not. There isn't really that much more than the pictures, but yeah.
No, I mean, it says discover the Nomad. Okay.
Also,
so,
real
go on.
quick, greetings to Alnitak, all the way from Poland.
Woohoo!
Hello, Poland.
Greetings, 07 for the mug. And if you didn't catch the news, well, it was awesome, and we didn't insert too many seams. But anyway, back to the Nomad. Okay, so first question is first, and fastest finger first on the buzzers. It's not the quiz yet, but it will be later. When are we getting... Or do they say when we're getting this? It's sort of implied-ish.
Yep. No, they say it. They say it.
When we're getting it.
Well, go on. When?
It's coming with operations at the end of the month.
Soon.
30th of June, is that?
30th of June, yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now they
My
describe it
statement
as
is still
Definitely say
correct.
that.
a small but mighty explorer. And then they put some pictures up. Okay, so can somebody else just describe how they describe it for us? So off their press release.
It's as a... Oh, no, that's not the description. That's what it does.
I've only
After
found
the
it in
small and
Fandom
that one.
Wiki.
Small
There
and
you go.
compact ship-launched vessel which is built to explore planetary surfaces. Its rugged shape and design is perfect for getting up close with organics and new discoveries.
So it'll survive going bump. They said
Yeah.
rugged, so it's going to survive going bump.
Mm-hmm. This
Okay,
is up close and personal too.
Now,
It's
here's... Oh, go on.
Go on. Oh, what I was going to say, I've just spotted on the Elite Dangerous Wiki that it doesn't come out of the SRV hangar. It comes out of a fighter hangar.
Yes, it is a ship-launched
It's
recon
a ship
vehicle.
loft, yes.
You could still launch it from the SRV bay, but it means you can have SRVs and this.
Yeah, but it's not much good, is it? Because you've got to land and then poop it out the bottom of your ship, and then the guy driving it on his skids going, give us a push. Come on, give us a push. Because it hasn't got any
Well, maybe you
wheels.
don't. Maybe you don't. Who
Well,
knows?
Well, yeah, but it can hover around, surely, because
Oh.
it's got plenty of thrust there.
Yes.
More to the point, I don't think you can deploy fighters whilst landed. So if this is an SLF class device, you're going to have to be in the air to let it out.
I was going to say, if you look at the first image on the website of the release, you can see it is definitely not on the ground.
Oh, it's definitely an SLF bay. You can tell by the shape of the bay it's coming out of an SLF bay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got the bottom skid that you took into.
It's very Thunderbird 4, isn't it, in terms of how it's launched?
Well, it's got a really big glass canopy at the front, which seems to be designed so you can look down, which makes sense for doing exobiology. Go on.
I have a big question
Okay.
about this. Now, see, I use VR, obviously. So if I'm in my buggy, I get motion sickness. I mean, like seriously bad motion sickness, but not in my ship. Will I get motion sickness in this thing?
Depends
I'm
how
going to
close
say
you get to the
probably
ground.
not.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Yeah, that will be altitude
I suppose
dependent.
if one could say, do you use an SLF though while in VR?
A fighter.
Honestly, the answer is probably not a problem because the main issue with motion sickness in SRVs is the camera bouncing around. Because as it tracks over the ground, the camera's jilting around all the time, which doesn't match what your
'Cause
ears are
if
feeling.
you're okay with
This will be a
flying
much smoother ride.
Yeah, if you're okay with flying small ships over a planet's surface and you don't have any problems in VR, at that point, the only thing that might cause a problem is that you can see you've got such a wide view that the lack of vignettes might do that. But apart from that, I just thought it'd be okay.
So, small ship, glass canopy, launched from your ship. Assuming the mothership therefore stays up in the air. It's for exploration. We don't know yet whether it has any funky scanners on it for doing exobio scanning from the ship. Well, and we're going to assume it will. That'll be sensible.
Yeah, Alnitak mentioned that as well. And all I've seen, so we don't know. I have seen commanders asking something similar. Not necessarily whether you can actually gather the data, but at least if for the ability to scan where the data is before you hop out, like where the I've not done exobiology. I don't know how it works.
Well,
where the samples are.
It says, you'll be able to deploy in the Nomad and get up close to those harder to reach organics. Now, that seems to indicate there that you get close to it so you can get out and go and get them, potentially.
Yeah, I think that's the most likely.
Yeah.
I do have another thought about it being an SLF,
shows
though.
someone standing next to one.
And then this goes one stage further, because all the SLFs are telepresence controlled. So could this be the first ship launch fighter where you actually get into it? Because in order to go finding exobiology, you need to be there in person to scan it, potentially.
Yeah, if it has landing gear, take away the exobiology, take away the scanning, you can reduce it to, does it have landing gear such that you can then press disembark?
And if so, how do you get out of it? Is the canopy going to open like a SRV? And you're going to climb out the front, because I can't see any doors on this thing, but I can see a pilot's seat. So, how are you getting out of it? Are you magically going to beam to the surface? Do you get thrown out of a hatch somewhere? Are there steps that come down the front? I can't see any hinges.
Smoke and mirrors and fade to black.
Right, okay.
Yeah. An interesting thought, if it's an SRV, there's an awful lot of ships that can't fit an SLF bay.
But the new one, the one that looks like the Enterprise or whatever it is,
the Caspian Explorer, yeah.
But it is going to significantly change the type of ship that people take for exobio runs and for exploration.
Well, you could take an Anaconda
they'll
with you.
suddenly, but they'll suddenly be taking SLF capable ships instead of whatever they currently prefer in the small to medium range.
The Viper Mark 3s, Cobra 5s, yeah.
Yeah. Suddenly there'll be a no-no on exploration trips.
Well, you can still do it the old-fashioned way.
Dolphins for jump anymore. Oh, you can, but if you want to equip this, then it's going to change things.
Yeah, so they've got a picture of a commander, stood next to it, and it is SLF quite small. But I mean, there are some things. So the SLFs don't have a pilot. This has a pilot. The SLFs, I would say, don't have a landing gear, but they do. We had this debate a while back. But you can't deploy the landing gear on them.
You can't deploy the landing gear. Yeah,
it's just aesthetic.
Yeah, whereas this one can actually land. So I'm assuming when you get close to the ground, you get the whole landing visual in your HUD, so you can land it, and your engines go all swivelly. Now, in order to make the engines go swivelly, you have to do the deploy landing gear button, because I can't imagine the engines will just swivel unless it's a hover mode. So yeah, I'd imagine it's even though it doesn't look like the skids retract, I think the landing gear button may well do the swivelly thing.
The skids look like they're on shock absorbers, but they don't seem to be retracted or unretracted in the various images. So.
Absolutely. And then the final sentence, there's more to this ship than meets the eye.
Transformers.
Mining ships in disguise. Now, it doesn't seem to have... Does it have any hard points? I can't really tell. There's a couple of hatches above and just behind the cockpit before the circular hatch. There's a couple of holes there, but I can't see any obvious hard points on there.
Doesn't look like there's anything on the engine nacelles. And there's a possibility, the one shot that you got from underneath it, there's a rectangular patch just below the seat that could pop open.
Yeah, it doesn't really look like one of the standard hatches. No. And there looks to be a little side hatch. If you look at the port side view of it when it's sort of lifting off with the thrusters, there seems to be a tiny little hatch on the side. But that's not big enough for cargo canisters, so I can't imagine you can load any cargo into it either, as far as I can see. We haven't got a rear shot in here, have we? No, we haven't got any... back...
I haven't seen its bum yet.
No. But
I suppose that would lean towards not being able to drive around or such in it, because if all you can do is land it and then disembark, then you can't even collect a piece of cargo anyway.
I'm going to extrapolate here a little bit. It's got quite a chunky backside on it, and the engines are external to it, and there's a hatch behind the pilot's seat to go somewhere. Is there the possibility that it could carry an SRV? A ship launch fighter with a ship launch fighter launched
It's nowhere
SRV.
near big enough.
I would
surely.
say almost,
it's not big enough for that.
No, it's already ridiculous enough if you look at the Sidewinder compared to the Scorpion. In fact, I think the Scorpion has a higher hull mass than the Sidewinder.
Possibly. I was just because they do fold up. Them Scarabs do fold up. Or is there a jet bike in the back? That'd be cool.
This is a jet bike. Stop wishing for more.
No, I'm just, I'm just, they're saying there's more than meets the eye. There is a hatch that goes to the back. What's in the back? There's a question. And could it be something, hatch goes down, you drive a little moon buggy out? You don't know.
Maybe you could go skiing down a rocky ice world.
It's a moon tricycle.
A moon tricycle, yeah, a moon trike. So yes.
Squeaky, squeaky.
So they say it is. Does it transform? Azrael, keep up. It's keep up, Azrael. Well, yeah, and then more than meets the eye. Yeah, don't know what else is there. Does it, decompose itself into a small base that you can use? To. I have no idea. But apparently they're going to be telling us more over forthcoming weeks. There aren't that many left till the 30th of June. But yeah, we'll wait and see, I suppose. Now, is it going to be... It's going to be early access, isn't it? So it's not going to be generally available on the 30th. It's going to be an early access
Arcs only.
For Arcs only, yeah. So Flossy gets to drive it and nobody else does. As she's the Pilots Federation favourite.
About a week before then.
About a week before. And does it come in red? Well, it does look like it's got a paint job. Is there a red one there? I think there is a red one in the pictures.
Yep.
Yes. And a sort of steely blue-grey one. Maybe
that's more.
Go on.
That's more evidence suggestion towards it being Zorg and Peterson.
Yeah, I mean, design
comes in
ethics is ZPG. I suppose it could be. And, of course, if you can deploy this near planet surface, are we looking to the future to have the Amelia special, the Nomad Amelia, with little mining-related things on it? Because if you can do this, then there are other things maybe in the pipeline for the future. Dun, dun, dun.
Kind of me interested.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Would you use that if you had a whopping great ship with 30 limpets just hovering around while you blast a rock apart with that?
Of course you would.
Yes. To get in amongst the asteroid after you've made it go boom. And get all those
that's
cheeky
that's
little
actually a
limpets.
really good idea, because I use a Type 9 and, so maneuvering around and getting all those little chunks is actually quite slow. If I could launch one of these with a mining laser, one of the ones that get the little chips, what they called, I can't
Abrasion blasters.
Abrasion blasters, that's it. If you equip it with an abrasion blaster, so you can zip one of these around all the fragments, in and out all the fragments to get all the little nuggets.
While
That
trying
would
to
be
dodge,
cool.
but I'd imagine limpets flying around at speed, going whittle, whittle, whittle past you as you're in one of these. It'd be quite terrifying as one sort of careens off your glass somewhere, because they're quite big, those canisters that they carry, and yeah.
Maneuvering a Type 9 in those kinds of spaces, it can be a bit hit and miss sometimes, Getting the abrasion blasters to line up perfectly can take some time. I mean, I don't mind. It's very cathartic. But having one of these to zip around in, I can see the attraction of that. That would be kind of cool.
And could you land it on a Thargoid Titan? Vulkarius, there we go. Take one of these and land it on a Thargoid Titan.
Unfortunately, I don't think you can land anything on a Thargoid Titan, not being a planet, or having landing pads.
Well, no, because you can land it
It's
anywhere.
not
It
like
doesn't
you
need a
can
landing pad, yeah.
It's not like you can request docking access.
No, you just plomp it down on its skids on the surface of one. Deploy landing gear, plomp it down on its skids, hop out, take a few selfies by one of the vents. Don't fall in.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, that's what I'm kind of saying. Unfortunately, if that's something you'd be able to do, in theory, you ought to be able to do it with existing ships. But I don't think anyone ever managed to do that.
Put it in the pile of it'd be cool if. How about that? So I think that's it for the Pilots Federation for this week. I'm just looking through. We do have some. Is the space news stuff going boom?
Most of it.
Most of it. We're getting a
Not
bit
all of
rubbish
it.
at this at the moment.
There's only one big boom in space news.
Only one big boom. Okay, well, let's play the music and let's get on to the space news.
When you don't know where to get more space news, 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 space news.
I like the title that someone's put with this one. Big Bada Boom.
It was a big bada boom.
Coming up on screen in a few seconds. Here we go. Boom!
And there it goes. And keeps going. And blows out the camera. And keeps going. And it is the biggest American big bada boom on a launch pad ever. The second biggest space-related big bada boom ever. The Russian N1 was a little bit bigger bada boomer. But that was a big bada boom.
Well, isn't it a testament to how well they built the tower there that it's just standing there resolutely in the middle afterwards going, yeah. Have another
one
go.
Of them,
what of it?
One of the two is still standing there resolutely afterwards.
Oops.
The other one, not so much.
I imagine they wouldn't trust it for any future launches, though. It's like, it's a bit melty. It's a bit bent in places. We probably want to build ourselves a new one.
Yeah.
Okay. Probably. So was it a test? So what were they doing? Was it a Blue Origin?
It was a live fire test of Blue Origin Blue Glen.
Right. So it wasn't supposed to go up. It was just supposed to.
It wasn't supposed to go up. It was just meant to sit there. It had a second stage mounted, but not fueled. It had we don't know how much fuel in the main body, but given the size of the bang, people are thinking in the order of about 1,000 tons of fuel, so probably about 2/3 full. And it went off with a blast that's being estimated at somewhere in the kiloton range. So you get a full-on mushroom cloud in the follow-up.
Was this SpaceX?
This was Blue Origin.
Blue Origin.
It was last Friday, just after, a little bit after the show. It was meant to just be a routine test to make sure that the engines were doing well, and they very much weren't. But if you look at the blast, it was instant. It was basically when the engines lit, it went boom. This wasn't an engine going funny or exploding or burning or whatever. This is the whole tank going pop.
That is, I'm just watching it again. Wowza. And thank you very much to the BBC for the footage there. Now, there is a latest update, which I'll switch to now. They've got an official statement.
This is from yesterday or so.
Yep.
Most of the critical infrastructure around the pad is still in good condition, which is really good news. The fuel facilities, stuff like that, are still in good nick now that they've been inspected. So the estimates that first came out of the pad, this is Slick 36, I think it was. The estimates that could be out of action for over a year are probably overestimates, and it's likely to be back in service in more like 6 to 9 months sort of phrase. But this is a disaster because this is Blue Origin's primary launch location, which means that they can't launch, anything. Which means they can't launch the test articles for their lunar lander, which means they can't launch their test vehicles that were meant to be landing other stuff on the moon for exploration for NASA. And it could cause a year or more of delay to basically every upcoming launch in the Artemis program.
Ouch.
Yeah, it was a big bada boom in a big bad way.
Yeah, they're saying the company invested years and hundreds of millions of dollars in this facility. The company does not have another launch site. It began preliminary work on a nearby pad LC-36B and has plans to develop another site at Vandenberg Space Force Base in California, but these projects are getting started. Rebuilding the company's pad or finishing a new one will take at least a year. So, yeah.
But there's also concern about the other Blue Origin booster, because they've got two of them. Well, they had two of them. They've now got one of them again. That was in the VAB. If you scroll to that picture that's just on the bottom of the screen at the moment, up a little bit. In the bottom left of that picture, you can see a great big blocky building. That's the assembly building. Actually, no, it's just off screen in that one. Just off to the bottom left corner of that picture is the VAB where the other one is currently stored. So,
well, they've said in their press release that the booster Never Tell Me the Odds and the 3 GS-2s that were on site in the integration facility also look good. So they've said that
Yeah,
it
that's the
doesn't
good
appear
news.
to be damaged. Yeah.
Debris was flying at very high speeds past that building and potentially into and through that building. So luckily it didn't hit anything critical.
Or they
Also,
reinforced
in
it.
case anybody missed it, nobody was hurt, which is one good thing that came out of it.
The dough is flying cheese made to make
I mean,
damage? Or...
given how big the explosion was, I mean, that is either some really good planning or somebody ducked at the right moment. Right, so moving on to the next article, it says, I'm not paying that much.
Yeah. So the opposite, the other big space company is worth the largest amount of money ever on the planet.
Yeah, real money or... I mean, I'm worth twice that, but that's only because I said so.
It'll you'd have to check into share prices and such, but it'll be their market cap, basically.
Yeah, that is what they are planning to launch their share price at, multiplied by the number of shares that they claim exist in the company. So that is their own personal assessment of what they think it's worth before they put it on sale.
Right. At 1.75
the market,
trillion.
they don't choose what the price of a share is as such, but they do choose.
They do for an IPO, $135.
Oh, there you go then.
Right. Okay.
There's also changes to how the stock market assessment works, as I understand it. I only half listened to that this morning, but basically because of a number of changes within the rules of how things are listed, it's allowed the value to change or to be higher than it might have been otherwise compared to the other companies and listed. So that's why it's suddenly so much more than everything else. But as you say, there's a lot of people kind of going, well, actually, I don't think I want to pay that.
It'll be worth a lot less shortly afterwards because Elon Musk's involved and everybody thinks he's a bit weird. Yeah.
Well, it could be worth a hell of a lot less seconds after the market opens on the day of the IPO. But if anybody subscribed to buy shares at that price in advance, then, well, you never know. It could be worth more. This is not financial advice in either direction. If you feel it's a good investment, go for it.
Okay, well, talking of things that don't cost quite as much as 1.75 trillion, yes, China's been testing stuff as well.
Yes, they've bought a Falcon 9 off Temu.
Oh right, okay. So it's a looks-alike, is it?
It's a looks-alike, flies-alike, acts-alike. They didn't try and land it because it was their first ever launch, but that looks a lot like a Falcon 9 and behaves like a Falcon 9, and it's a reusable first stage booster that does what Falcon 9 does basically. And the test was successful of what they were testing.
And so they're launching, or they're intending on launching an internet mega constellation. So yet more objects flying across the sky, which I think they've named 1,000 sails. I'm not even going to try and legitimately pronounce Yangfang. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's more of the same, but done by China.
But it didn't go boom. Yeah.
It didn't go boom. So one better than everybody else's at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting things in the comments because, yes, I went into the comment section.
Never read the comments.
But they're speculating. They're speculating that launching without warning is a sign of organizations that are insecure under closer scrutiny. So I wonder if they're trying to say that basically they're worried that all of the press would go and take photos of it and go, that is a Falcon 9, isn't it? That is actually a copy.
It's all very well doing that, but I don't remember the last time China announced in advance that they were launching anything at all. So it's standard operating procedure for China. You can read into that they're always worried that it's going to get photographed or whatever, but no,
or it's going to go boom.
Publicize what they're doing.
It was a safety issue. That's what it was, just in case it went boom. And the last one, and dark energy stuff. We've talked about dark energy and dark matter quite a bit, but this dark energy stuff, is it or is it not real?
Now, isn't this one of the things that's being contested at the moment?
Debated.
Oh, yes.
Because physics isn't behaving as we expected it to when considering dark energy.
Well, physics wasn't behaving the way we expected it to, so somebody invented the concept of dark energy as an additional term to throw into the equations that might resolve the way it was behaving that we saw with what the equation said it should do. Somebody else has pointed out that actually that's an unstable version of a solution that doesn't fit with Copernican principle of you ain't that special, which means it's probably not a valid solution, and here's an alternative one. If the maths checks out, you don't need dark energy to explain why the rate of expansion of the universe is
check your
changing
working
with time.
first before inventing unicorns that poop cupcakes.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
So yeah, this could be a new explanation of how the universe works, for want of a better term, that doesn't need dark energy to correctly predict and calculate what the universe is actually doing. So it may not be there after all.
Okay.
It gets quite complicated, but if anybody wants to read the article, then go and have a look for themselves, because there's a few good ones out there about it. But yeah, interesting.
I'm going to say it definitely gets complicated.
Yeah.
This
My
is
head hurts now.
not
I tried reading
simple
it.
math.
No.
Yeah,
I'd rather read
that's
that.
That's why I'm
that-
glossing over it.
I said I'd rather reread that article that we had earlier. Okay. Well, that's it for this week's Space News.
Well, hey.
Space news, space news, space news, space news, space news, space news, space news.
Do we have a word of the week?
We do have a word of the week, and this is punishment for my not being here last week, or putting a word of the week in last week, it seems.
Okay.
So what is the word of the week?
I will tell you when I've found a way to tell me how to say it phonetically. But actually, I think I said it in the story, did I not?
No.
It was snuck in there at the end.
No,
No, you
we've spelled it out for you.
No, the one at the end was Riedquat, which is actually the name of a system in Elite, which we had trouble saying.
That would have been a cheeky slip. Roticism.
Roticism.
Into the script for the arts.
And what does that mean?
It is just like our script, which has an excessive or habitual use of the letter R.
Can you use it in a sentence, please?
Not after that ruddy article, I can't.
Round the rugged rock. Anyway, yes. So
The
you're not
rugged
allowed
rock
to
is
say
this
rural,
brand.
rare, regular, ring, rival, root, reactor, refiner, reform, really, right, robust, or Riedquat. Unless-
Riedquat.
Yes, you're suffering with a eroticism.
I prefer to go with the regular roots, the rare resources, and the ringing rejection of regrettable recycling rhetoric.
Not the Riedquat, robust, right, ready, reform, refinery, reactor route.
Or the robust rivals requiring rapid rebuttal regarding recycled rock rights. Anyway, just...
Can you
right to
please
say
keep it restrained, respectful, reasonably rectangular, and only rowdy near the refreshments rig?
But the race
bloody
remains
hell.
remarkably rum.
Do you know why? So I looked it up. Do you know why it's called Roticism?
Erotic R's? Well, I'm familiar with rhotic, yes.
So it's the rho part, RHO. It's the Greek letter.
Yes.
The R. That's why.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
There we go. Absolutely.
More R's than a pirates convention.
But Body Wash says whoever named it was very rude. If you have roticism, you can't say whaticism. Which, to be fair, is like asking a dyslexic to spell dyslexia. So
Yeah. Well, actually, eroticism
Dyslexics is
in
phonetic.
pathology can also mean the substitute of a W for an R. So Jonathan Wass. So yeah, there is a medical definition which is slightly different, which is putting everything with a word instead of a R. And I'm
does
not
that mean it should be naughty
and
body
wee-weed
Rosh?
it. Yeah. Yes.
My
I'm not
mother
gonna
was
go
like that.
We weed it.
we weed it. Yes.
Willis,
We weed the article.
I could just hear Willis Wodger. Willis Waterwick.
Willis Water.
No, we're not doing the rest of that sentence. No, we're not doing the rest of that sentence. No. That one is that's banned. That one. Okay, so as mentioned in the articles earlier, I think Flossy, you might have something coming up for us soon.
Yes.
Yeah. So we don't know which theme tune it is this week.
Did you want the quiz or not?
Oh no!
Just thinking of.
Oh, sorry, I've jumped ahead. No, you can't talk. We are doing a quiz. Yeah, okay.
Mr. 21.
Oh, seamless. Lots of seamless. I missed that bit. I was looking ahead to the critical supplies to complete runner production. Okay, of course we have a quiz.
Welcome to this show's quiz, which everyone's encouraged to join over at quiz.iniv.space, which somebody else is going to have to put in the chat for me, in a browser window on the side, or with a mobile device. Inspired this week by the announcement of the new Nomad deployable vehicle for planetary exploration, all of these questions are about those deployable vehicles you can access via the crew panel, which aren't just you rolling around erotically in your remlock. Everyone listening live is very welcome to auto land and drive assist off over to quiz.iniv.space now or at any time during the quiz to join in. And remember, no moving your fighter while people are standing on it. Missiles are the safest way to get your buggy upright again. And this quiz has 2 non-standard rounds of 4 questions each.
Wait, what's the standard round normally? Oh, wait.
3.
You've made it symmetrical. Or something.
Now, I just want, for clarity's sake here, just in case little Grey here is asked by his nearest and dearest lady, what were you talking about on the radio show? And he said, I was being rhotic. No, just be very, very careful how you say that, okay? It might get you into trouble.
Well, I've changed my name for this quiz in honour of the word of the week.
Well,
I think
Amelia could be Ruby Dooby. No, how no, I can't put ours into
Ooby
that
doop, Scooby Dooby,
one.
Banooby.
Wait, wasn't that the name of your of the one of the first Hutton fleet carriers?
It was Ruby.
Before the mug, Ruby. Yeah.
Yeah.
In any case,
isn't that one flown by Snuggles McKee? Isn't Ruby flown by Snuggles? Could be. Anyway,
I think it might be.
In any case, I'm fairly sure everyone's filed in now. So we'll do round 1, which is SRVs on. No, which is SRVs on the ground.
On the ground.
Question 1. In SRV, for what does the R stand?
rhotic.
I know what I was going to write, but I know it's wrong, so I've written something else.
You know, I'm drawing a blank at this. I'm just staring at the screen. I want to say recreation, but I know that's wrong.
I don't think I'm going to give 0. As long as you put in a word beginning with R, or is supposed to begin with R, I'm going to give you at least 1 point for this one, I think.
Thank you for changing that phrase then.
I mean, and thank you for putting the question exactly that way round, because, you know, what does the R stand for? Well, it looks jolly silly lying down is a valid answer. Who's got the explosives?
Oh,
somebody must have
that
the explosives.
Would be me. Blue Origin used them all last week.
Boom!
Question 2. In meters per second, what is the top speed of the Scarab?
No,
it depends on how high you drop it from.
I was about to say, is Alec Turner driving it?
Brackets
Is that on the
terrain using its own drive system, end brackets.
With or
in
without
contact
drive
with
assist
the
on?
ground, or
Say again?
In contact with the ground, or
yeah, on. So my bracketed notes say on flat terrain using its own drive system. So.
Because you knew you were
Flavor.
going to ask that question.
Don't know the answer either way, but let's see. We had Leo last time, so I think it's time for Vewitty this time.
I think I remember
Velvety.
what the R stands for in
Velvety.
SRV.
Detonation in
Bit
Velvety.
late, but
Rarity.
You know, I think we could make a Lego Nomad at ECM.
That would be good.
And question 3. Which non-weapon module in the Scarab is missing in the Scorpion? Is it the cargo rack, the data link scanner, the shield generator, or the wave scanner?
Yeah. It's got rockets.
You know, I've
No.
never thought of that.
I'm trying to think.
I think I know
I
this
thought
one.
he was missing 2 of those.
I think I know this one, but I think I might have got it wrong.
Well, I mean, it's designed to go pew pew, isn't it?
In
It
it,
does go pew pew, doesn't it?
in it, bruv.
It's not missing. It's just selectively unavailable.
That's a nice
I'm going with that
picture.
one. Yeah, that is a good.
That's a nice image.
Did you take
I
that,
downloaded that
Vulkarius?
one. I didn't
Oh.
take that one myself.
Well, of course not. You're in the SRV.
And question 4. In kilometres, at what distance in the SRV is the ship dismissed automatically?
Inconveniently too few.
Yeah.
Is it the same if you're on foot? Does it ever go away if you're on foot and you walk too far away?
I don't know, but that's kind of not really relevant for this question, which, this round even, which is about SRVs.
Yeah, I know. But I'm just curious. Is it the same? Now it's opened a can of worms.
You probably wouldn't survive long enough.
I'm going to be just to be nice to some people, putting quite large numbers in there. This is in kilometres, not meters.
Okay, well, it's not one then, because it's plural. There we go. Well, so next time I'm on the planet's surface, I'm going to have to run this. Whatever you tell us the distance is, I'm going to have to run that on foot to see if my ship goes bye-bye, all on its own.
I suspect you're going to be there a while. The
Most
SRV
answers
goes
are in by
lots
now.
faster. Explodey button time.
10
Whoop,
seconds.
whoop.
And for the SRV round, we have the R in SRV stands for recon. I deliberately did not merge all the attempts to say reconnaissance.
Recon is short
I
for
was-
reconnaissance.
I was
Yeah,
inexplicably
reconnaissance. It says it
amused.
right at the bottom of the west.
Yes, I was very, very, very amused by all the attempts to write reconnaissance.
Well,
I knew
how
it was
many
wrong,
people
but I just
actually
sent
got
it
it
in.
right?
One. Well, no. So you've got
7, 8.
and reconnaissance is also correct at the end there.
I would say it's
About
more
8 of them.
correct because recon's a shortened version of reconnaissance.
Why is abbreviation
Yeah,
such a long word?
Well, so both reconnaissance and recon and the reconnaissance, they all got 3 points. Those are all correct.
Woohoo!
Okay,
Now, I
let's see.
remembered it was that. A question after.
Yeah,
I needed it.
is often the way. Yeah. 21 to remembered a question later. What goes in the brackets in the frameshift drive module? That being SCO. Yeah. In any case, the speed of the Scarab on flat terrain using its own drive is 38. So there were some points for some close answers in there. I did like 40-ish, depending on rocks in the way.
Woo! I guess close.
And Amelia, of course, is too busy upchucking at that point, the horizon moving at speed.
I was going to say, I tell you what, it is an odd sensation, the sickness that you get from driving an SRV.
It's because you can't see your nose.
What?
It's one of the things that VR systems developers tested, and yes, the inner ear not syncing up with the actual movement. But if you can see your own nose, that black triangle you can't actually see. But if you close one eye, you can actually see it. You know what I mean? But if you can see a fixed point of reference in VR, like your nose,
that's what I meant by vignette.
VR. Yeah.
So I've in my mind I've kind of got 3 tiers of kind of VR queasiness, of effects. So the least is something like Beat Saber, where the world around you is not actually moving. Okay, you got stuff coming at you, but the world around you is not actually moving. It's only your real movement causes world like view movement. Then you've got if it's vignetted, like if you're in a vehicle, like a ship, or if there's an artificial one added to you. Then that's kind of the second one, where your hand controls can move the world around you without you moving genuinely. And then, of course, if it's completely without a vignette, then that's the worst one.
Yeah, but I mean, see, I can fly a ship and have no problem doing that for, I don't know, 15 plus hours, But you put me in an SRV, I have about 20 minutes before I start feeling queasy.
I get about 5 in VR. Have you played with the camera controls? Because if you turn off the camera, I think it's camera Bob, it does make it a lot better in the SRV.
I've met camera Bob. He hangs around with Boom Mike.
I see. I'm going to press result Q3.
Probably a good idea.
So the module missing from the Scorpion is the wave scanner.
Oh, poop!
It's the funny little,
I remember,
45-degree high-low signal little beeper thing that pings every few seconds.
Does it actually have a cargo rack then?
It does, but it's smaller.
It's only one.
Yeah, it's class 1.
Yeah.
It's a class 1 cargo rack instead of a class 2 cargo rack. Yeah. And the distance is 2 kilometers. Is when the ship will dismiss automatically.
Woohoo!
Oh, that's way less than I thought.
Yeah, it's not very much at all. It would be good if you could choose it. Yeah.
I'm not doing well today.
7,500 kilometers. Yes.
More than 0, but less than 20.
Technical correctness point.
Yeah, I mean you're approaching a large chunk of the circumference of the moon before your ship disappears. Isn't it about 10,000 kilometers, the circumference of the moon?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, about that.
I know that the radius of Sol 3 is 6 and a bit thousand kilometers.
Yeah, journey to the center of the Earth, and then your ship buggers off. Yeah, okay.
Which means circumference is about 36,000.
Hey, Vulkarius, before you move on, can I make an improvement suggestion while I think of it? Having the point that you earned next to your answer might be a useful feature.
It might be, but I also might not want to tell people exactly how many points they got for exactly which thing until they see the scoreboard, then it's aggregate, so they still don't know.
What about favoritism?
Huh?
Favoritism.
Yeah, is there a favoritism button? Yes.
What would that do?
You might want someone specific to win, so if we can't see the scores...
It's a fix.
It's fixed.
I'd never even considered doing that. That was unthinkable until you just said it.
You're totally scrupulous, aren't you? You have many, many scruples.
But now he's scribbling it down on the notepad on his desk, ready for next time he does some mods.
The favoritism button, yes.
So that I don't end up pressing back again.
Round
mods. 2 is SLFs in the air.
Oh no.
Question 1. What is the cheapest ship which can fit a fighter hangar?
It's one of those.
Oh, no. Oh, no, I've written the wrong one. I'm thinking SRV still. It's not.
Did you
that.
know you can actually change your answer?
I do know that, and I am doing that. And I know what it is.
I'm sure
I
there's a Diddy
believe-
one. I'm sure there's a...
Commander Witherspoon said to me once upon a time this was one of the underrated ships of the game because of this feature.
If it's the one I've put in, I really like it for other reasons, but yes.
Discussions for later without giving clues.
Yeah. I'm not going to say any more on that one on the basis that I'll give things away. Okay. Hint, it's not a Sidewinder.
10 seconds.
It's got to be a medium ship. Oh, crikey, I've got the yawns now.
Question 2. Who produces the F-63 Condor? Is it Brewer Corporation, Core Dynamics, Falcon de Lacy, Gutermeyer, Lakon Spaceways, Saud-Kruger, or Zorgon Peterson?
It looks very Cylon, that, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Zim, zim. It does look that bit on top of it, to pop up like one of those, what is it, the fighters out of Star Wars, the robot fighters in Episode 1, where the head pops up like a droid fighter, that's the thing.
And
Doesn't the bit on top look like the head of a droid fighter? Yeah, pops up.
Do you mean the Astro droid that they put into most fighters?
No.
Or at least
They had a fighter. The droid army had one, but the head popped up out the top like one of the ones that walked around and said "Roger, Roger" a lot. You know those ones. There was a little head on top that could pop up on the droid fighter.
They had a droid fighter.
Its
that
body
didn't
was
have-
the fighter rather than it sat in it, though.
Yeah.
Yes, but doesn't that bit on top look like it ought to pop up like a little head
Yes.
and look around? I know what I'm talking about. Nobody else does.
I'm going to try and
but-
find a... I know. I'm just trying to find a picture to stick in the chat or something.
Okay, I've picked one.
Detonation in 10 seconds.
Vulture class. That was what they were. Vulture class droid fighters.
Question 3. Which utility module is present in the Rogue fighter variant?
Ooh.
Is it a chaff launcher, the electronic countermeasure, the heatsink launcher, kill warrant scanner, point defense, or shield booster?
The Rogue. What? I'm trying to think. What are the other ones?
So
There's the Gelid.
others are there's the Gelid and the Aegis are the other two.
Right.
I am totally guessing on all of these.
Yeah, I'm guessing on this one.
Me too.
The Rogue. Right. What? I'm just trying to think because it's not that one because that's the one I like. It's not that one.
Could be
It's
that
not
one.
that one
though.
because it's not got that. Not the Gelid F, because I fly them a lot.
The F and G at the end means fixing gimbal, so that says which weapon it's got, but not which utility module it's got.
Yeah. Okay.
Do the blippy
Because
noisy
there's
bangy
one that's
pop.
good for this, and I tend to use the one with the beam laser because it gives me an extra, quite serious beam weapon. But then, yeah.
And finally, question 4. Which engineer produces the XG7 Trident, XG8 Javelin, and XG9 Lance? For this one, I've narrowed it down, the multi-choice that is, to the Tier 3 engineers. So is it Decker, Fortune, Jamison, Palin, Sarge, Sedesi, Tar, Tarquin, Turner, or Vataman?
This one's easy.
It can't be any of them. They don't start with an R.
How is it
They're not
easy? I
rhotic.
don't own any of those. I don't even know where I'd get them.
Well, the trouble is, we don't want to give too much away by explaining them.
Yeah.
You had to unlock them, though, didn't you? There's a
Picking
hint.
them, I like.
They weren't one of the ones that were available at
No.
launch. Yeah.
They would need to be unlocked if you had them or wanted them, I think is more specific for the case of the non-combatter and the miner. So,
Yep. What happened to the XG1 to 6?
Seconds.
they went boom. They were made by Blue Nomad, Blue Origin.
Yeah. And for the SLF round, we have cheapest, which can fit a fighter hangar. That is indeed the keelback.
With the wiggly engines. Woohoo!
Yeah,
Lion Robin!
So why do you like it, Mr. 21?
There are two reasons why people generally like the keelback, and that's it. On each side of it, it's got a spinny little thruster.
Flappy arms.
Is that both of the reasons? One
Yeah,
on each
that is
side?
both of the reasons, because when you land, it was the first one to have any kind of articulated bodywork when you landed, other than the landing gear. So it had articulated engines, and I've got a picture of, I think, Flossy and me on a planet surface somewhere with a purple keelback after one of our events.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm fairly sure a Reliant Wobbin can't fit a fighter hangar. So for technical correctness points, I can't be sure that my other one, its bare bones, isn't necessarily a keelback, and I also can't be sure that your more isn't cheaper than a keelback.
Oh dear, that's fighting talk. That is.
Oh well.
Your more is cheaper than a keelback. Oh dear. Right.
But she's big enough for a fighter hangar.
What didn't that go without saying? Oh, no. Anyway, moving on. The F-63 Condor is made by Core Dynamics.
It's a federal one, and that's Core Dynamics' thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is that. Yeah.
It looks federal.
The Rogue fighter variant has a chaff launcher.
Holy
so
hell,
the
I got one right.
So the Aegis variant has a point defense, and the Galnet variant has a heatsink launcher.
Yeah, because the Galnet one is the one with the beam lasers, so you need it.
Yeah. Yes, it does actually mean chilled cold, that word.
I didn't... Okay.
Yeah, well, it does. And finally, the engineer is Tar, or Ram Tar, if you wanted it to begin with R.
Rhotic
That was going
tar.
to be my second answer.
I got the first two letters right.
Ramtar Quinn.
I didn't put their first names, and well, everyone knows that would have messed up the order, though. Everyone knows Sarge's first name is The
Sarge, yes.
Palin's first name is Michael.
And after all of that, we'll bring the scoreboard. Who do we have? It is, as with joint first place, we have Rhotic Robin, Wandering 80,085, and Azrafael with 21 points.
Oh Christ, I'm not even on the board this time.
Oh no.
I didn't
I am
expect to do
10th
well.
place. Woohoo!
There were actually quite a high participation on this one, so I wouldn't worry too much about that.
Well, Azrafael is back to Azrafael's winning ways after a blip. Wasn't it Azrafael who had a bit of a blip in recent weeks, or was it Bograt? I can't remember. Anyway, somebody who's normally at the top, but Azrafael's usually at the top.
Well, there was the Star Wars one, which
Yeah.
kind of upended who knows what to.
Cool.
So well done, everyone.
Hooray. Thank you very much,
Thank
as
you.
usual, for the quiz. It was a laugh. Right, now I'm going to do it again. Flossy, are you ready
Yes.
again?
I'm still ready.
Are you the next? I don't know what music. As I said, the music is on a randomizer, so it could be the long one again. It shouldn't
Yeah.
be, given that you've actually got some news this week. But here goes. Everybody sit back for a minute. It's Flossy's turn.
When The universe is
It's gonna
in
be, isn't it?
trouble.
It's gonna be the long one.
Infestations in the bubble. Your
Sounds like it.
home station's burned rubble. What
on earth can we do?
when your faction leader's a dog and your daily tasks are a slog? You're feeling like a used cog. What on earth can we do now? Interstellar initiatives. Let Flossy tell you what it is. Then you can get involved with this. You should listen to what Flossy says. Interstellar initiatives. Flossy tells us.
Oh, has it finished?
I think
Hello.
so.
Flossy here with this week's CG News. Yes, this week there is a new CG. Frontline Solutions calls for critical supplies to complete runner production. Frontline Solutions has issued a public call for support in the final production phase of their new vessel. The runner, capable of rapidly transporting and deploying mercenary squads and their ships to operational locations, is a new venture for Frontline Solutions, and they require manufacturing support. Commanders can support this initiative by signing up at any station with a mission board, then selling semiconductors, polymers, or aluminium at the commodity market. Commodities sold as part of this initiative will have an 8 times price multiplier. Pilots who register at least one contribution will receive the following rewards: Type 8 Convoy Chromatic Cherry Paint Job, Panther Clipper Mark II ZPG Parcel Red Paint Job, and credits depending on success tier achieved and individual contribution level. Campaign began today, 4th of June, and will run for 2 weeks. If the final target is met earlier than planned, the campaign will end immediately. To earn rewards, you must sign up as an active participant before delivering semiconductors, polymers, or aluminium to Palchuk Dock in the HIP 58412 system. Be aware that faction state changes and other disruptive events can negatively impact markets and station services and could prevent the initiative from running smoothly. That's it for this week's CG News.
Flossy told you what to do.
Ooh. Paint jobs. More paint jobs. Chromatic cherry paint jobs. Nifty.
I prefer glacé myself.
Unfortunately, I don't have any screenshots of them yet. I have asked.
Oh, your secret contacts from the incredibly leaky Pilots Federation.
Well, if
Ooh,
there's leak
we've
a
had
couple
a-
of paint jobs, would be nice.
Urgent breaking message from Commander Azrael. We could do with some help in Van Man and Star. I haven't got details on that one, but Azrael, give us some details. Or I'll tell you what, Azrael, look up the details while we go over to the Galnet News Digest, and we will do an emergency broadcast to everybody about Van Man and Star once we're done with the Galnet News Digest. I'm hoping I've got the buttons. I haven't checked it's uploaded, but it's usually reliable. Let's give it a go.
Galnet News Update, 4th of June 3312. If operations doesn't release on time, it'll be our fault, according to Imogen LeRae, Chief Executive Officer of Frontline Solutions. The company plans to provide a rapid reaction force to counter the growing pirate threat, using small 4-pad Operation Runner megaships, starting on the 30th of June. To allow these Operation Runners to be constructed, they need large supplies of the slightly unlikely combination of semiconductors, polymers and aluminium. and they've issued an appeal for commanders to assist in delivering the required commodities to Pavelchik Dock in the HIP 58412 system, not forgetting to sign up first. The commodities are initially attracting an 8 times price multiplier to make selling these relatively low-value goods more attractive. Everyone who takes part, even if they deliver only 1 unit of cargo, will be awarded 2 paint jobs, a Convoy Chromatic Cherry for the Lakon Type 8, and a Zorgan Peterson Parcel Red for the Panther Clipper. The plan is that Frontline's new fleet of vessels, to be known as runners, will be able to rapidly transport mercenary squads and ships to operational locations to combat pirates, mercenaries, and other undesirable groups. Frontline has chosen to manufacture these ships itself, which is why it needs our help. If at least the first tier of the initiative doesn't get completed within the next 2 weeks, then all bets are off, and the launch of operations could slip. If the initiative concludes successfully, then we are almost certain to see Operation Runners crisscrossing the galaxy on the afternoon of Tuesday, the 30th of June.
Ooh.
Do you think that was an auto dock? Or did he do it himself?
I don't know. I was going to have a look, but I'm not going to hit it again. No, because I have to go through the whole thing. But thank you very much, Commander Waterspoon, for reiterating everything. Well, no, I'm teasing. Because we know nobody listens first time when Flossy does it, or first time when he does it, but 2 times maybe they'll have listened a bit. If not, go and read all the details over in your cockpit. Isn't that right, Flossy?
So what am I doing?
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah, but listen to Flossy and do what she says.
You're saying that the repetitive reiteration of the details was unnecessary this week?
Really?
Right.
Yes. But no, I mean, it's always fantastic to get these videos. But even if they do use AutoDock from Commander Wotherspoon, I will probably get a message from him in a minute saying, I don't you dare, I never use AutoDock. And he's got an expert camera crew, which is probably where Beetlejude was this week, wielding the camera, floating around somewhere behind his ship.
I use AutoDock and I don't care.
You don't care.
I use AutoDock. I flew for years without using it, and I can load all my ships manually, but now I use AutoDock.
So I just jumped my Lynx Highliner over to Van Maan and Star, and it does look like the Hutton Orbital Truckers Cooperative are locked in a war at 31.2% influence each with Van Maan and Star organisation.
Yep, as Raphael says that we're two days to 2. Not easy to say. So we are drawing at 2-all, and we're on day 5 of 7. So we need to win at least 2 of the next 3 days, including today. So
right,
and yes, it does indeed need a permit, as as was revealed in a previous quiz.
Mm-hmm. So anybody that can get there, please get there and do some pew pew. As Raphael, are there any ground-based combats, or is it just space-based? Now we need to wait for ages for the stream delay to catch up.
No,
and then
it's about 60 seconds. There are both.
There are both. So it's perfectly acceptable for Flossy to take her rocket launcher there as well.
And I have a permit, so yeah.
What, for the rocket launcher?
No, I have a Van Maan and Star permit.
Oh, so you don't have a permit for the rocket launcher? I'm not surprised the way you swing it around.
Got the same permit as anybody else.
Right. Well, go and do that. I think Van Man and Star, is as you've mentioned, permit locked, and we've been not in charge of the permit despite running the system for an awful long time, and it would be a pity if the Mad Monks of Van Manen didn't have a Hutton Orbital trucker to moan at when things aren't quite right over in Van Man and Star. So yes, do lend a hand. Right, what are we going to do now? I'm just calling up the Twitch because it's getting towards the end of the show. Thank you very much, everybody, for taking part, joining in, listening, watching, taking notes when Flossy was giving out instructions, doing quiz questions when Vulkarius was giving out instructions, or paying attention to the news. We are going to be back next week, and I'm just looking over on the Twitch. We raided somebody last week, and they proper appreciated it. So we're going to be looking for somebody again. So who are we going to look for? We got any names of who's going to raid at the end of the show? Let's have a look. Yeah. Somebody who's only got a few viewers and we haven't seen for a while. Space, and more space. I've got that one from Kilbrooks. Anybody else see Kilbrooks?
Yeah.
No, but I'm not looking.
I've also got Viking Zero, who's hauling again.
Let's have a look. Does anybody see that Kilbrooks is currently live, aren't they?
Yes,
apparently it's Twitch's most hated streamer, wrestling's most favourite psycho, expect the unexpected. Well, this could be the danger zone we're heading into here. Let's go and visit. They say space. Yeah. We'll go and raid them.
Currently seems to be just Supercruise assisting up to a stronghold carrier.
I'm pretty sure that we've raided him before.
Oh, I don't know. There's competition from Viking_0. We are hauling again.
But
I'm pretty sure we've raided Kilbrooks before because he's actually a wrestler. Yeah, WWE wrestler.
Okay, well,
he's flying a.
Instead, we could go to Viking Zero, who is hauling again, and that's a Hutton Truckerish kind of thing. So we're going to go. Here we go, just a casual player trying to have some fun and hopefully help someone along the way. That sounds like a Hutton Trucker to me.
Done.
That's done. That is done. Okay, so we're going to play the credits. Do remember to read the credits. I was just having a look on here. There's the credits. What's the date? I'm pushing buttons. Cover for me. I'm pushing some buttons because I broke something.
It's the 4th of June.
Beep, beep, beep.
No, keep talking. I've broken something.
What did you break?
No, just keep talking. Just talk elite stuff. Speculate about other ships coming or something.
Elite stuff.
Yes. I've made a mistake.
So do you think sales of the keelback are going to go up if the ship-launched fighter becomes a Nomad, or the Nomad becomes a ship-launched fighter? Seeing as it's the cheapest one you can put them on.
I've never had one.
Yeah, it's a nice little ship, the keelback. It's kind of like a Type 6 with go faster stripes, or go faster guns, depending on how you look at it.
I don't use guns.
I suppose
Probably
it would
not worth
depend.
getting a keelback there.
We'd have to see we don't know what's the credits cost of the Nomad yet. Don't think we even asked that earlier. So if the Nomad turns out to be 100 mil,
and are they 3D printable like fighters for when you accidentally misplace them on the planetary surface? And by misplace, I mean crash into.
I'm still broken.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting question. Because if you die in an SLF, you're back on board the ship.
Well, that's the same as that's the telepresence question.
Yeah, exactly. But if you can get out, then you.
I've definitely broken something.
We shall see.
This is not good.
Oh no! Maybe we just need to send people to the right place.
No, I'm going to get this working. It will not defeat me. I will not be beaten.
The raid's easy. We just may not have any credits or outro music or ability to stop the stream. We're streaming forever. Help!
No, we're
Send snacks.
We're stuck in a stream. This is problematic.
Did you cross the streams?
I may have my stream deck crashed. I'm just restarting so I can just hit stop, and that's about all I can do at the moment. I'm getting there. Yeah. It's coming back.
We could just raid and leave. We don't always need to have end credits.
Yeah, I think we're good. Actually, no, there we go. We're back alive again. Whew. No seams here. For the mug.
For the mug.
For the mug.
Mug.
No journey too long and no cargo too small. The profit margins never really mattered at all. We're gonna take the cargo where it's needed today. Super cruising all across the Milky Way. We'll take anything, anytime, anywhere. Loading up the T-9s to the brim with grain. For the mug, yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the mug, now everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song. For the mug. Flossy always seems to crash into the sun. Swivel likes the pilot on the Xbox One. Alvin at the front, you know he leads us well. Trucking across the galaxy, now everybody yell. For the mug, yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the mug, now everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song. For the mug, yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the mug, now everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song. Today, super cruising all across the Milky Way. We'll take anything, anytime, anywhere. So shout it out loud like you don't even care. For the mug, yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the mug, now everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song. For the mug, yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the mug. Sing the Hutton Trucker song.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of the show.
Everyone's buggered off. Why don't you bugger off too?